Hi everyone, my name is Les I Read and welcome to another video. So this is going to be a reading vlog for the book Crushing It, and I think it's Lorelei Parker. I think that's how you pronounce their name. So this is kind of like a chick lit romance, I think, possibly. We follow our main character and she's a role-playing game like developer, so I don't know if that's like video games specifically or like tabletop games, but she is a game developer and she has to go to a conference and do like maybe make her pitch or like some kind of form of public speaking, and she's afraid of public speaking, which I can totally relate to. So in order to get over her fears, she decides to do like a diary slam at her local bar, and she, during this diary slam, she like reads her diary, and in the diary she talks about her crush from university. So I guess it was like a diary entry for when she was in university or college or whatever. And lo and behold, her crush is like in the audience and he was gonna do a diary slam thing too. So yeah, so I think it's kind of like I'm pretty sure it's more like a romance, but it might be a little bit chick-litty as well. There's also a potential love triangle with her, like the bar owner or like just the bartender. And yeah, so I'm excited to read this. I've been reading not tons of fantasy, but it would be nice to kind of break it up with some contemporary chick lit romance. So I'm excited to get to this one. This is an ARC. It comes out, let's see, June 30th. Hopefully I can get this vlog up before June 30th and you guys can see my reaction through this video. So I'm gonna start reading and share you my thoughts later on. Okay, so as you can see, I'm 13% of the way through and I'm really enjoying it. It's really funny and fun, and we got to the embarrassing part already, and this is just like super easy and quick to read, so I'm really enjoying myself. I like Sierra, that's her name. She's like a gamer chick and she's like a video game developer and she's super nerdy. There's a lot of like video game references and just like video game developing references. So I'm not a huge gamer, but I do relate to it because my husband games and I know a little bit about video games, so I am enjoying that for sure. And right now she's at the bar and she's like totally afraid of public speaking, like her body reacts to it, and she's trying to get over her fears of public speaking by going to this event that's being hosted by someone from her university. She doesn't seem to remember him, but I think he remembers her. And it's already in the synopsis, but she performs this embarrassing moment from her diary kind of thing. Like she had a writing assignment where they had to write in their journal like 15 minutes every day. And there's this one segment that she wrote and it was quite funny and enjoyable to see. And then the guy that she talks about in that journal entry is at this event and he's participating in this contest. It's basically like everyone can participate, and it's called a chagrin contest where, you know, you recite embarrassing stuff, and it's like a weekly contest. So people get eliminated every week, and then the winner gets $1,000. The bartender seems to possibly like her, which I'm excited. And I like this girl because she's kind of like quirky and interesting. She has like dyed hair and she wears a lot of nerdy t-shirts and has like a very interesting style. And I don't know, I'm just really enjoying this experience. She has a best friend that she lives with who's married, and she lives with her best friend and her husband, but she like kind of rents out the basement apartment. And she started this business with her best friend. I think both of them, like they all work together. I think they all maybe own the business together, this video game developing business. So she's like quite successful, but maybe a little bit behind, not behind, but you know, she's struggling with dating. She's struggling with, like, she doesn't have her own place really. So I am really enjoying this, and I like her friend as well, who's really supportive of her and just trying really hard to help her with her public speaking fear. So I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm going to keep reading this morning, and I'm going to try and get halfway through this book today. That's the plan. So, as you can see, I am 45% of the way through. I'm like so obsessed. I love this. I'm so excited to discover this new author, so I'm gonna have to see if this author has written anything else, but I love it so much. It's, I think, a new favorite. I love all the video game references, and they feel really accurate. Like, I feel like this author has some knowledge in this area, I guess. So it's very nostalgic for me. I love the kind of love triangle that's happening, and I love the real true potential love interests. And I just love our main character. She's very spunky and just kind of trying to figure things out. She's really successful while also like being struggling in other areas, and so I don't know, I just really like the dynamic, and I like her friends. I'm just loving this. It's just such a good time. Hi everyone, it's so much later. It is Tuesday now, and I think I finished the book on Saturday, but I finally finished Crushing It by Lorelei Parker. I absolutely loved this book so much. I like devoured it. I couldn't stop reading. It's a new favorite contemporary romance, and I'm pretty sure I described the synopsis, but anyways, we follow, I don't even remember her name, but we follow our main protagonist. I think it's Sierra or Sierra. Let's take a look. Yes, Sierra. So we follow Sierra, and she's a video game developer, and she's quite successful, and she's just like obsessed with video games. Like, she always has been. She's really successful in her job. Like, she's a programmer, I think. So I don't think she technically started out with video games, but when she got her first job, it was like for a startup. Her and her best friend was in something else in tech, and after they both lost their jobs, they kind of came together to make this video game developer or company or whatever, and then they got an investment. So like, they are partners now, but she is like the main like programmer of this company, and she's kind of in charge of that. So she is really successful when it comes to her career. And she's had a really successful career with her best friend. Her best friend is like married, but it's interesting to compare it to her like other parts of her life, because she has struggled when it comes to relationships, and she's struggled when it comes to like living situations. So she like lives, her and her best friend rented out this townhouse, and they've been renting it out since they moved there, I guess. And she lives in the basement while her best friend and her husband live upstairs. And so she kind of has like a dungeon lair kind of, where she plays a lot of video games. And so like, I liked that for her character, where she was very successful and worked really hard in order to get to the position that she's in, compared to other aspects of her life. So it kind of brought some dynamic to her character. She's kind of a quirky, so it's a little bit cliche, but it kind of works for her character because she's a gamer. So she has like colorful dyed hair. She wears really like funky clothes. She's in the middle of developing a new video game, and she wants to pitch it at this like game convention in Germany, but she's like terrified of public speaking, and she's tried really hard so far, and it's just not been successful. So her best friend suggests that she does this, I think they called it like cringe something, like it's this competition at this local bar near where they live, and you go and you try and embarrass yourself, and the winner over several weeks wins $1,000. So her best friend says, you should go sign up for this competition in order to try and get over your fear. So she agrees, and it's terrifying, but she decides, she finds some old diaries, or like an old workbook actually, from university. She went to this one class and they had to do like diary entries every day. And so she decides to read a section from that about her old crush. She meets the bartender there, who seems really charming and somehow was part of her past, but she doesn't really remember him, like he went to the same university. And so she talks about her old crush on this guy from university, and he's like in the audience. And it's about her obviously conquering her fears over like speaking in public, but she possibly can rekindle a relationship with a past crush. And I love this book so much. I think it's kind of like a competition, right? So I like stories that have that kind of element, because it really progress, especially with a contemporary romance setting, because it really progresses the story forward. So I thought that kind of element worked really well. And then she has kind of struggling with feelings between two guys, this old crush of hers and the bartender. And I really loved it. It was so much fun and lighthearted and romantic, and I grew to love like all the characters a lot. I really enjoyed the competition side. You were always really excited to see what was going to happen next for the next week, and you really wanted to root for your main character and make sure she picked the right guy. And it became really obvious who the right choice was. There usually is like a last conflict when it comes to romances, and it didn't, like, it kind of worked. It didn't bother me, but I didn't love it. Like, I love this, and I'm really sad that this author has no other books out, at least not that I'm aware of. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I don't quite remember when this comes out, but I'll quickly look it up right now. So you can go buy it because it's super good. I'm almost tempted to buy it myself. It comes out on June 30th, so I definitely recommend, especially if you love chick lit romance. I would classify this as a romance for sure. And there is some sexual content in here, just putting that out there. But loved this one. Highly recommend. That's it for this vlog. I'm sorry if I didn't vlog enough, but if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not done so. You can follow me on Goodreads and Instagram. And you know what, guys? I want to keep reading. Bye.